Back in the late 2000s, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing Paris Hilton's face. Billboards, perfume ads, she was everywhere. Imagine Jojo Siwa, but before Wi-Fi existed. And during this time, she was also an executive producer on multiple TV episodes and movies. Mind you, none of them have passed a 2 out of 10 rating on IMDb, which honestly, kind of impressive. Like, you really have to try to get it that low. Because in 2008, she made one of the worst movies I have ever seen. The Hottie The Nottie. So it's all about this guy called Nate who's in love with Paris Hilton's character, who's called Christabel. And it started when he met her in primary school. And up until today, he still loves her, considering that he's never actually met her again since she was 6 years old. Arrest this man. And he's also a singer-songwriter who writes love songs about his girlfriend. Not 6-year-old Paris Hilton, like his actual adult girlfriend. But that doesn't last long. Because she breaks up with him in the first scene we ever meet her in, we don't really know anything else about her. And she also admits to spray painting his car.
Why do you think I spray painted your car? And I am taking my drawer.
And then while she's breaking up with him, she says that she's taking her drawer with her. And silly me, I thought this was code language for like a pet or something. She legitimately walks out of their apartment with a drawer in her hand. And she runs him over with her car. The FBI might be very busy this video. He also makes this very weird little guttural sound, like, which might be normal. I don't know, I've never been ran over, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I don't know that sound. And remember when I said he still loves Paris Hilton? He even has her yearbook picture in his office. This man is sick. You thought I was joking earlier when I said he should be locked up, right? No, I meant that shit. Lock this man up. He also has her picture next to like some weird kids toys. This movie gets weirder by the second, and mind you, it'll get weirder than this. Then he drives over to his best friend's house, who he has also known since first grade, and sends a team. This grown man is very obsessed with 6-year-olds. Chill out, guys, it's okay. I think and he needs his best friend Arno to help him find Christabel. And his ex-girlfriend spray painted Loser onto his car, which was somewhere after hitting him with a guitar, but like before hitting him with her car. I get it, it's a difficult timeline, just try your best to keep up.
Wow, that's Christabel?
Yep.
And then him and his best friend talk about how much cuter Paris Hilton's character got since she turned 13 every single year after turning 13.
She just got hotter every year.
I cannot begin to unpack how weird this shit gets. And then they talk about Christabel's best friend, June, who is the naughty to Paris Hilton's hottie, which Arno explains to us is part of a law of physics.
It's a very well-known law of physics. The hotness of one girl is directly proportional to the ugliness of her best friend.
When I tell you, this is the most bro science shit I've ever heard. Basically, the more attractive one girl gets, the uglier her best friend has to be. Which is interesting, because by that logic, it means that every attractive woman on planet Earth has like a best friend named Smeagol in her closet. But also the way he describes June is like she's the second coming of Jabba the Hutt. Grown man, by the way, grown man. He's 29 years old. Insane. And mind you, they are still talking about June when she was 6 years old. They don't know what she looks like today. And then he makes his mom fetch him his box of data about Paris Hilton's character, Christabel. Yes, this man nearly keeps a box, like a library, you might say, of every step that Christabel sets in a day. Like, he knows where she has lunch. He knows what time she goes to bed. He probably also knows when she's awake. So he decides to wait for her on her morning run, which is weird because he then runs into like a man who looks like a Targaryen, who we find out is part of a club of men who wait for Christabel every morning so they can hold up signs which say, "Marry me, please." And there she comes. Paris, PH. And it's kind of funny that they make it look like she runs every day. I'm gonna be honest, that form, that speed, this is her second run of the year. But also, mind you, Paris Hilton is the executive producer of this movie, which means that this scene, which was set up to show men waiting for her in the morning as she gets breakfast on her run, wearing t-shirts with her name on there, holding up signs to marry her, she decided that that should be in this movie. Like, this was all her idea. She even nearly takes a married man away from his wife and child. Which is kind of funny because it's like that one meme with the guy who gets distracted while he's with his girlfriend. You know exactly what I mean. And as he sees her, he gets flashbacks of what she looked like. I'm gonna say it one more time. When she was 6 years old. Six. Yeah, boys, come in, boys. It's okay. Then he starts following her on her run and sniffs her neck. I think all he's smelling is sweat, which he might be into. I don't know. And he tackles her for no reason at all. And then he apologizes like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I tackled you, Paris. I didn't mean to jump on you. This man is sick. And then we find out that Mr. Targaryen is actually called Randy, and he is referred to as just an albino guy.
There's a really creepy albino guy standing outside the window.
That's just what they call him. But it's kind of cute because she is fond of him as her stalker. Like, she doesn't mind that he's there. It's just, that's Randy, you know, just doing Randy things. Still haven't figured out why his voice sounds like that.
And I'm pregnant.
And then she thinks it's kind of a good idea to just tell him that she's pregnant. She has no idea who the father is. Don't really know why she did that, because she's not pregnant. She had zero reason to make that joke. I'm guaranteeing you that she forced the movie director to put that scene in.
June's really into her health. She's a vegan, so everything she eats is non-fat.
And then she invites him to join her and June as they do yoga, which is kind of weird because she says that June is into her health. And she's vegan, which means she eats everything that's non-fat. I don't think that's what vegans do, Paris. Have you seen a vegan and their avocados? They love those things. So as they make these plans to meet up later, she writes her phone number on his hand, but she only writes down like 5 digits, which I've never been in LA, but I don't think that's how phone numbers work, even there. And then she starts to kiss his hand. No, I'm joking. She just blows on it. Because why wouldn't you, right? She kind of like sensually blows on it. And I am so confident this man busted in his pants as that happened. I didn't like saying that. I didn't. And then Nate shows up for yoga, wearing jeans, of course, as you do. Because what yells flexibility like denim? And as he enters the studio and meets June for the first time again, as they're talking, he sees another guy meet his friend and he kisses her on the cheeks, which makes Nate think that he has to do the same to June, even though he's disgusted by her. So as he goes in to kiss her on the cheeks, he gets bumped and kisses her on the lips. But Paris is kind of cool about it. She's like, I mean, we don't get action anyways. So like, you know, we don't mind.
Nice.
For some reason, this kind of feels like a real LA scene. He also sits behind him in yoga class and like straight up just looks into her asshole. Which sounds crazy to say, but he literally just looks right into her asshole.
Maybe you and I could go out to dinner.
After yoga class, he asks her out on a date, which is when she tells him that she will only ever go out with another guy if June also has a date. Which of course means that Nate now has a mission to find another guy for June so he can go on a date with Christabel. Then they go on a picnic together, but to be clear, not a date. This is not a date. He would never do something so selfish.
Like I said, it's
Not a date.
that none of these narrow-minded assholes can see how beautiful she is.
This is about June, and he tells Christabel that he cannot imagine why no man can see her beauty. I can't help but think Paris Hilton planned this movie. This is her movie. She set this movie up to be about her friend being as disgusting as she possibly could be.
I've found the perfect guy for her.
What's his name?
His name is Cole Slawson.
So of course, he lies. He lies to her and says that he found her a date called Cole Slawson. Yes, I'm also hungry, but there's no Cole Slawson. The worst side dish on planet Earth. Coleslaw. Because they're having a picnic and he sees a coleslaw next to him. But he makes it his mission to find a man who can play Cole Slawson. And of course, to find Cole Slawson, he does what any other smart man would do. He starts a medical experiment. He hangs up a sign and says that he will pay someone $500 per week to play Cole Slawson. And for some reason, this poster says that testing may include skin biopsies, sleep studies with persistent and unrelenting shocks, and anally injected fungus and bacteria, treated only with placebo drugs. He didn't need to include any of this in the experiment, or to find Cole. Mind you, all they have to do is go on a date with June. I don't know what he's planning to inject into anyone's anus during this experiment. I don't know. And I think we're led to believe that he hung this up at like a college dorm. First of all, this man, not in college. He's balding at the top. He genuinely looks like my dentist. But also, look at him reading the sign. He finds out that there's going to be anally injected fungus and bacteria, and then he's in. That was what sold him on this experiment. Yo, Paris, what's up with you? What's up with this movie?
But all you had to do is go out on a few dates with a woman.
She have a vagina.
He finally tells him that he doesn't need to do any of these experiments, but he just has to go on a date with a girl. And for some reason, his only priority is whether or not she has a vagina. Yeah, Paris,
Oh, these are shoulder blades.
I thought they were wigs.
And then some random guy starts flirting with her, but then June gets in his face and tells him to fuck off.
You haven't been laid by anybody you haven't had to pay for in over a year.
I can't help but feel like this is Paris Hilton writing June's lines and making her defend her. Like, oh my god, she's heard better things. Like, she's waiting for a better man. This is all Paris Hilton writing these lines. You couldn't convince me otherwise. I gotta say, June's kind of badass.
Pay our bar tab, bitch.
What?
And for some reason, Paris decides to yell at him that he should pay their bar tab. That had literally nothing to do with the movie. We didn't need that scene. And finally, Cole Slauson shows up with Nate. And don't forget that this man's only priority was whether or not she had a vagina.
Oh my god. It has whiskers.
What do you mean she has whiskers?
It speaks.
And then we get to my favorite line of the movie, where he says that if he touches her, his dingus will fall off.
I can't do this. My dingus will fall off.
His dingus. I'm adding that to my lexicon. I've never said the word dingus before, but I feel like we can make this a thing. You know, like a lot of things from 2008 are in nowadays, right? Like we love baggy jeans, we love band t-shirts, vintage, we love dingus. Maybe we shouldn't collectively walk around saying that we love dingus. I don't know if that would go over well.
Ahoy! Sorry I'm late, folks.
And then the captain to their boat shows up, and it's the guy that they told to pay their tab earlier for some reason. Of course he's a captain. Also, it's never implied whether or not they actually paid her tab, but for some reason, I feel like we're supposed to believe that he actually did.
Look at the beauty. Drink some of this.
Then he hands him a Jack Daniels bottle, which I for 100% believe is a paid endorsement for this movie.
Winging it.
And he just drinks the entire bottle. So he's mentally ready to go on a date with June. They are doing June so foul. June didn't deserve this, dude. She did not.
Damn, but there's not even a bathroom close.
We're also led to believe that June doesn't have ears and that she couldn't hear two men next to her talking about how ugly she is. Because of course, why would she have ears, right? Like, why would she hear you call her ugly? That doesn't make sense.
If Nate could go anywhere in the world, Venice.
Venice?
Yeah.
June then tells us that her favorite destination to go on vacation, no, that was not supposed to rhyme, that was not on purpose,
That would be my dream day too.
is Venice, which is actually the same as Nate's favorite location to go onto a vacation. That was supposed to rhyme. And after that, it's time to go swimming, which is kind of cute because June gets her own montage. Like, she gets her own little montage as we pan up from her feet to her head. And it kind of looks like her and Cole are into each other. He's putting on chapstick because he's ready to kiss her. Her toenail flies off into his mouth.
Nate, good news. I just lost my toenail.
And he gets so disgusted that he jumps off of the boat and leaves. He swims away. I cannot begin to fathom how a human adult wrote this.
I heard somewhere that 95% of the way others see you is the way you see yourself.
Then we get this weird little scene where Paris keeps like preaching to June how she should see herself as pretty so other people can see her as pretty as well. Which is once again another scene where Paris Hilton is able to show us all how good of a human she is. And that's not the only time. Like, she just keeps saying random bullshit during the movie.
Our bodies are like an earth suit.
I don't even know what that means.
But at least June does call it out. Like, June realizes that everything that Paris Hilton says just makes zero sense.
You even kept our old class picture and probably think they were crazy or a pedophile.
And as they're standing outside, Paris then admits to Nate that she also kept his yearbook picture from when they were 6 years old in her closet. But at least she admits that she might be a pedophile. Which is weird, but at least she has some self-reflection.
Now stick with me. I got a plan.
So after this all, Nate says that he has a plan to find June a guy. Yes, I did on purpose not say man because I've been rhyming a bit too much in this video.
Do-it-yourself hypnosis.
Yeah, his plan was hypnotizing the guy who he paid to play Cole Slauson into liking June. Like, they rigged him up to their little homemade machine and they just zapped the fuck out of his brain.
Are you insane?
Which, of course, doesn't work. So then they try to hold the little golden clock in front of his eyes and think that that might work.
When you see this.
It actually works. So they convince him that every time he sees June, he will actually see this. I'm not sure why they chose this out of every option they had, but he says something like MySpace lady.
MySpace lady.
I do not know what he means. I tried to Google it. Google showed me pictures of Lady Gaga. I don't understand.
And you hear the phrase, I love
midget mimes?
And the safe word to kind of unlock him is I love little person mimes, but they don't say little person, they say the 2008 version of little person, and I feel like we both know what I mean. Please don't make me say it, but you know what I mean.
I love midget mimes.
And when they go on their next date as a group, as a couple, he can't get enough of June because he sees the MySpace lady.
Thank the God.
What?
And he loses his shit. He's insane right now. He scares June. He's scaring the girls away at this point. He's too much. He's way too much. But I guess it's better than it was before. Also, poor June. She goes from not having a single man look her way to having a maniac chase her. She just can't catch a break. But it's kind of cute because June actually finally gets happy for the first time in the entire movie.
I'll get it.
Until he licks ice cream off of her mole. I don't think we needed that. I like June. June's a great character. I don't think we needed to do that, Paris. I don't think you needed to include that in your movie. Like, I need to have lunch after this. I just don't think we needed that as society.
Oh, look, Daddy, I love midget mimes.
And right as June is just kind of having the time of her life with her new guy, Cole Slauson, and of course, a little child yells out, "Look, Daddy, I love little person mimes." But once again, she says the 2008 version of that sentence, "You know what I mean," which makes Cole turn back into himself, and he is once again disgusted by June. Right after he licked her mole. Like, imagine the 180, the mental fuckery.
They're called little people, honey.
But at least her dad actually corrects her right after she says it, which I think is kind of cool. I'm not sure if we can credit Paris Hilton and this movie for kind of like making a shift in vocabulary. Yeah, no, I don't want to give them that. I don't think they deserve that. And then this mime pulls June up on the stage, which makes him draw a picture of her as a horse. I'm being so serious. This movie was created to bully this woman. That's the only reason they created this movie. And then Johan shows up, who kind of like saves the day in a very weird way, because he walks up to June and tells her to not worry about this little man. After which, he elbows him in the face, knocks him out, and takes June on a date.
I'm Johan.
I, once again, wish I made any of this up. This is the actual movie.
I grew up in Europe.
And then we find out that Johan, who is Swiss, also is a dentist. And then it finally dawns upon Nate that Johan is here to actually date Christabel. Because what makes Christabel warm? June. So if he can save June and kind of like make her her best self, fix her teeth, he could get into Christabel's pants. That is Johan's mission.
You have unbelievable bone structure.
And we continue. More Paris Hilton glazing. Like she's just glazing herself the whole movie. So they set up a plan. Johan is obviously trying to date Christabel. So Nate is going to shadow them and kind of dirty bag him along the way. And kind of like underplay everything he says to her so it's less impressive so she doesn't like him. This movie goes through plots like at an insane pace.
To enhance June's natural radiance.
And then we find out that Johan is kind of helping June get treatments like throughout the week. Like she's getting veneers, skin lasering, mole removal. They are kind of treating June like a Make-A-Wish kid, but also they can make Christabel happy. At this point, June is kind of becoming like the benefactor of all of this.
We gotta figure out something you're really good at.
So they decide to make a plan where Nate will impress the girls with his singing, because as we know from the beginning of the movie, Nate is a songwriter. Only issue is he doesn't have a guitar, because remember, his ex-girlfriend beat him over the head with it and broke it. Nothing that some tape can't fix. I don't think that's how a guitar works. I don't think you can just gotta like tape it up and then play it as if it didn't just break into a couple pieces. But Nate is going to sing for them.
May I? Took a little damage recently, but...
And for some reason, he just kind of lets Johan take the guitar from him and he starts singing. And then the entire bar they're in is looking at Johan like, oh my God, I want to marry this man. And I can't lie, the way he describes himself, Johan, it's hard to not want to marry him. Damn, I'm ringless. buddy. Like, ring me up. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, take me to Switzerland, dude.
It's loud in here.
And then they go to a club after the bar, and then the cute moments between Nate and June keep going, like as they're kind of chatting and they're smiling at each other. And it's slowly kind of happening that they like each other more than he likes Christabel. But it also kind of helps that June is becoming prettier and prettier as she has all these treatments done. And then Nate and June start to dance together, which is so cute because it's the first time in the entire movie that June actually looks happy. It just took us an hour in, and she's finally smiling for real for the first time. And we finally find out the one thing that Johan can do. He can dance. That was ass. I don't know who decided that that's how he dances. That's horrible. That's ass. That sucks, dude. Yeah, that sucks. That's painful to look at. Johan just pulls his nipples out and the camera zooms into them. What are we doing? Why are we zooming in on his European Swiss nipples? And yeah, Nate couldn't take that shit. Nate was pissed off, dude. Like, he was like, come on, man. That should have been me. Me showing my nipples. I have great nipples. That should have been me. And then Nate jumps into the dance and tackles Paris Hilton. On accident, he didn't mean to tackle Johan. He just fully like NFL tackles Paris Hilton. After which, she delivers the worst line of this movie.
I've known a lot of jealous men in my life. You take the cake.
That was genuine horrible acting. I thought Paris Hilton has been in Hollywood for like her entire life. Apparently not. Those 1-star reviews, there is a reason. There is a reason.
Look, I'm not perfect.
Sorry, Nate. It's over.
And then Christabel finally breaks up with Nate. Johan is better. I can't blame her. He is a marine dentist, Swiss man who can fly airplanes. He can sing. He has great teeth. He has a 6-pack, 8-pack maybe. And he's got good nipples. So I can't blame her. Then we fast forward 3 weeks.
June?
Yeah, that's what they usually call me.
June is a baddie now. June's a baddie. They go out for drinks and she looks amazing and she still has a personality, which means that June is now normal, as he would say. And then they go out for a little sundown walk together, but they run into Randall. Randall is still there looking for Christabel, and it's kind of cute because they say what's up to each other.
Hey, Randy. Hey, Stan. Hey, Nate. Hi, Nate.
Their date continues. He kisses her without consent, which she didn't mind, but he did say that he didn't know why he did that, which made her feel ugly, and she kicked him out. And they break up, kind of. I mean, they weren't together, but they were... No, they were nothing. This was their first date. They just met, kind of, for the first time in 3 weeks. So they didn't break up either. They just kind of said goodbye. And all of a sudden, when Nate arrives at a party at Christabel's apartment, he finds out that Johan and June are now dating. There was zero buildup, zero reason for us to understand why or how come they're dating, but they are. Which is insane, because that means that Johan has actually been investing in his future dream girlfriend. And all of that pisses Nate so much off that he decides to beat the shit out of Johan. Which he does right until Johan decides to actually beat the shit out of him, and then Nate is on his back. June just kind of accepts that she's with Johan, who hates her, doesn't really like her, but she's hot now, so he wants to date her.
I am grateful.
And then Christabel reminds Nate that he actually accomplished his mission. The entire movie, he was just trying to find someone for June so he could get with Christabel. But he kind of forgot about his mission, and now he's into June and not Christabel anymore. But Christabel doesn't know that, and she makes out with him. But right before she does, she shits her pants.
Oops, I forgot.
Okay, no, she didn't. She has a little whoopee cushion in her dress. There is no reason. There's no reason. She just kind of has one. And while they're doing their thing, June and Johan are on the couch when June tells Johan,
I want to become a non-virgin.
That might be the worst way to describe everything that's happening right now, June. That was horrible. And while both Johan and Christabel are both ready to have sex with their partners, none of them are into it. And they leave so they can meet up with each other. But it is kind of cool because Christabel gives him her blessing.
Nate, I'll be fine. It's not like I have trouble getting dates.
But right after she gives her his blessing, she does want to make it clear, Nate, I'll be fine. Okay, I can get dates. I don't need you. Like, there's enough dick in Los Angeles, okay, Nate? I don't need you. Which is, once again, Paris Hilton just making sure that we know that she's bad. Like, she just needs us to understand that this is a choice and not a, like, forced decision.
I am in love with you.
You're out of breath.
And that's it. Paris Hilton made arguably the worst movie I've seen this entire year. Goodbye. I need to go wash my eyes now.